I'm stressed out. I'm sick as a dog. Well, I wasn't nervous at all. And when I went out there, I had so much fun. And I talk about this match to everybody who will listen whenever I'm in front of Matt Menard because he was so worried about getting tired in the match, and then he got super exhausted, but then he's still in the middle of a commercial break. Like one of the things that's most tiring when you're wrestling and people don't understand this is like the yelling, right? If you're physically exhausted and then you're yelling. So I told him in the commercial break, okay, relax a little bit, just take a breather. No, that's my time. That's my time. Oh God. And me and his partner Angelo Parker, his name is Jeff. I love Jeff. He's great. We were just dying after the match. And we've given him an endless amount of crap for that. So yeah, wrestling is fun. And like if you let down the barriers that of worry and how's this gonna go and all this kind of stuff, you can go out there and it's super unique. I mean, it's like I've done commercials, right? I did a 5-hour energy commercial. WWE said, hey, we'd like you to do a 5-hour energy thing. I said, oh, I'd prefer not to. And they're like, nope, you're doing it. I was like, prefer not to. I don't know anything about 5-hour energy, but I'm just like, that's not my thing, right? And so, oh, I prefer not to. Oh, well, you're doing it anyways. Okay, here we go. So, and it's not like they still paid the extra for it, so it's not like, whatever. I don't want to say anything negative, right, about that kind of stuff. But, gosh, now I've lost my train of thought. Where were you saying wrestling is fun? Oh, wrestling, yeah, wrestling is fun. And you just have to, a lot of people get so caught up before they go out there in like expectations or or there's all this weight of fan expectation or what's the social media response going to be or whatever it is. It's just like you go out there and you are wrestling. Sometimes I wrestle in front of probably 20 people, right? And that's hard. But once you get to like 150, 200 people, you've reached escape velocity where there's energy in the room, right? So there's energy even in front of 150 people. There's energy in the room, and with 1,000 people, there's energy in the room. With 3,000 people, there's energy in the room. There's 10,000 people, there's energy in the room. It's unlike anything else. You're doing a live performance that is somewhat impromptu in front of lots of people, and that energy and like. It's just unlike anything else. And it's hard to get that once you stop doing it. When did you really start to feel that Yes was getting over? Oh gosh, what's the earliest memory of going? Oh, okay, we're on something. Yeah, the first time we were in Seattle, and Seattle's was always a hard place to say if something's actually getting over or if it's just my hometown crowd. But it was like, okay, I had done the Yes thing to get annoying, to be a bad guy, and but we go to Seattle and they had me do during the commercial break. They had me do the thing where it's like, I actually hate Seattle, like whatever it is, and people boo. But then when I came out there, they still cheered. It didn't matter. But that was the first time where there were large parts of the audience chanting Yes, right? And then I mean, I wasn't sure, and then when they had Sheamus beat me in 18 seconds at WrestleMania 28, maybe? That was 28, yeah. And the fans were just yesing like crazy when I went out there. You could tell that they were bummed when I walked to when the match was so short that I walked to the back. And the great Khali of all people was like, man, that was fucking bullshit. And I was like, oh, Khali, I didn't know you cared. Thank you. But then like the next night, it's like, okay, well, night after Raw, there were lots of people, yes, but they just kept going. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of when after a couple months after that, and it was still happening. I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be here for a minute. Did they tell you WrestleMania 28? It needs to be really quick. Did they say less than 30 seconds, less than a minute? It needs to be 18 seconds. I mean, what they said is it's like so that yeah, that was the direction. It's like okay, did you say excuse me why? No, I wasn't at that point in my career, or I wasn't on. And also I've never been somebody who's been like, wait a second, why would you beat me in 18 seconds, or why would you beat me with just one move, or whatever. It's like okay, that's the creative direction. I'm going to do the best that I can with it, and I find that a lot of people put up stinks about a lot of things or whatever it is, but I think okay, this is if you have an idea, it's like oh well, what if we do this, right? Nope, we want to do that. I mean, you can put up a little resistance if you really don't like something, but then if this is what the boss wants, you're better off to do your absolute best at what the boss wants, and then try to get over from that. I think a great example in AEW is Swerve Strickland, right? Like he came in and he lost a lot of matches, but it was always like yeah. Yes, sir, Tony. Whatever you need, I'll go out there and do. And then now, look at him. He's main evented pay-per-views. He's a world champion. He's fantastic. And then there will be people who will take the other idea of I don't want to do that, or I don't even lose, or this or that, or whatever. Man, it's not real. It's like I mean, there's a couple guys in wrestling who would do well in MMA. There's a couple, not many. so it's like okay. I mean, you can go if you want to win every match. You can go try MMA. I mean, most MMA. I mean, we're in Houston, right? I'm sure there's an MMA gym here. Sure. You could even just try out the best guy at the local gym here in Houston in your weight class. Yeah. And see how it goes. Sure. Right? Probably won't go so well. Right, yeah, because you spent, and not to say that guys in wrestling couldn't do it. It's just we haven't spent time training to do it, right? And so it's like, so yeah, but it's, yeah, I've always been a little bit perplexed by some of that kind of stuff. Can you believe it?
Only one date left until John Cena retires. December 13th, Saturday night's main event. And if you're looking for tickets, SeatGeek has got you covered. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring this episode. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, WWE, sports, festivals, and more. And check this out right here. What does that say in the middle of the screen there? John Cena's final match. There's the tickets that are available. The great thing about SeatGeek is they've got your back. Every seat, as you can see, is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know if you're getting a good deal or not. Look for those green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. Orange means not so great. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. And if you're going to be there in Washington, D.C. for Cena's final match, I will see you there, and I'll bring the tissues because, you know, it's going to be emotional. And I've got a code for you if you want to grab those tickets. 10% off your next set of tickets with the code CVV2025. That's 10% off any tickets with that code CVV2025. Just click the link down below to download the app, and that code will automatically be applied so you can use it to buy those tickets or tickets for any event that you want. Big shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. You've now become like the preeminent example of like getting over organically and the company listening to it. Like there's been so many examples in recent years where it's like, this feels like the Daniel Bryan thing. If only they'd listen. When did you feel like they were starting to listen?
Oh, I mean, it was all circumstance, really. It was like, you know, what makes that hard, what would make that hard now in either company is that you have so many guys on top that, one, are great, and two, people want to see that aren't stale or anything, like, you know.
What are the circumstances you're talking about?
So a big one was Punk quitting in WWE. The other one was that fans, I think in 2013, fans were wanting somebody new. And at the time, you know, they were, there was a big one. They did this championship unification thing. It was actually super special for me because it was the last time my dad ever got to see me wrestle before he passed away. They were doing this championship unification match between Randy Orton and John Cena. So they had all the ex-WWE champions, all the ex-World Heavyweight champions out there in the ring. But we're in Seattle, so everybody's going crazy for me, and I, in my head, I was like, oh no, this is not going to turn out good for me, right? You know, so, but we had seen a long time of John Cena against Randy Orton, and, you know, the same guys on top for a long time, and you could just feel the crowd. Like, I could feel it. The crowd wants somebody new.
Well, the crowd hijacked that segment.
Yeah.
Triple H is trying to talk.
Yes.
And they're chanting, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, but even in the sense of, like, but then when Batista won that Royal Rumble, you know, I feel bad for Batista. Because, I mean, he worked hard to come back and all that kind of stuff. You do that with Batista now, he gets a great reaction.
Really? Any other year?
Any other year.
Yeah.
But it was just, and it wasn't necessary. I don't think it was necessarily me. It was, okay, the crowd had gotten behind a Dolph Ziggler. The crowd had gotten behind a Kofi Kingston, and they get up to a certain level, and then they were up. During that era, it was like, okay, then they would always kind of be pushed back down, or whatever it is. And I think fans were starting to get upset by it. And I mean, even Punk, right? You know, me and Punk had wrestled a match on a pay-per-view, must have been 2012 for the title, and it was for the title. We were in the middle of the show, and the main event was John Laurinaitis and John Cena, right? You know what I mean? I think the fans were ready for something new or whatever it is. And so, I mean, that's just time and place. And I mean, there's a lot of my career that's been like that. So it's like, so yeah, I mean, I'm of the firm belief that you could have I was in a very fortunate position even winning the title. I wasn't even supposed to be there today. I think it's Clerks. Do you remember that movie? I wasn't even supposed to be there when I first won the world. The thing that led to me yesing was I had won the Money in the Bank, and the only reason I won the Money in the Bank is because they had two Money in the Bank. They had one for Raw and one for SmackDown. they knew for sure they wanted Alberto Del Rio to win the